I've talked about this before, but this is my Russian nesting doll that was authentic. It was from Russia, and it came from a friend who came from Russia. So back when I was in college, I lived in the international dorm, and I made good friends with a person. I honestly can't remember their name, unfortunately. But you know how every year they don't know if they're going to be able to come back or not. Well, he gave me a gift in case he didn't get to come back, because after the school year is over, they have to go back and come back if they're going to come back. And it's usually a 1-year deal, unfortunately. Some of them, not all, but some of them. So this is an authentic Russian nesting doll from around 1990. I think that's about the time I went or met him. If you open it up, you'll see it's been carved out, hand carved. It's not machine carved. Well, they may have used like a bevel or something like that. I'm just saying it's not mass produced. Inside we have another Russian nesting doll. You take it apart. It's been a long time since I've opened this, and one of the things is it's made out of wood, and when you live at the beach, the moisture in the air makes wood swell. And you have your final doll. So there's 3 dolls inside of one. Put them back together. You have baby, mama, and babushka, or grandma. So a Russian nesting doll. A lot of times they've made baby communism inside of them. I think this was after they said, no, we don't like that. Because this was after the fall. I think it was right after it. I don't know. I just know that they could suddenly, he came to America. He was blown away. When he came to America, he was absolutely shocked. He was like, why do you have so many different, like when you have like soda, why do you have so many different sodas? Like going, well, it's just different companies. And it's like, yeah, but aren't they all the same? It's like, he had a good point. It's like, why do we have Pepsi and Coke and RC and, and generic things? It's like, because in Russia, they only had soda, but they don't have that. He's just saying that's one thing they don't have. He said that in Russia, we don't have like Coast and Ivory and Dial and all these different brands. He just has soap. I'm like, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's, you pick the one you like, and if you don't like it, you pick a different one. So you get choices. And I thought that was a very interesting conversation that we had. We had a lot of interesting conversations, most of them about, God and about Jesus Christ, because he was not brought up in a Christian environment. He wasn't brought up to believe in Jesus or anything. He was brought up but he wasn't closed-minded at the same time. I find that a lot of Americans who call themselves atheists are very closed-minded, and that's terrible. It's sad because the fact that, I think that a lot of times also it's kind of the fault of the religions. I know a lot of people say, well, y'all believe in eating flesh and drinking blood. It's like, no, I don't. That's not. They've been turned off by certain religions that call themselves Christianity, or just religions in general. But for my friend, he wasn't taught anything about religion, so therefore he had an open mind to it. Now, he probably was taught religion's bad, America's bad, but then when the communist Soviet Union fell, he burst his bubble, and he's like, well, if they were wrong about America being bad, what else could they be wrong about? Kind of like the opposite for me. When I was in 4th grade, I found out there was no Santa Claus. There was no Easter Bunny. So therefore, there was none of these things like God, or I didn't know who Jesus was, but I just didn't believe in God at that time. Because I figure I've never seen him, but I'm supposed to be good, so he'll reward me. Doesn't that sound like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, yada, yada? It's just, I figured it was just another mind trip that, parents and teachers were putting on us. So I became an atheist in 4th grade. I remember very clearly that day. And I remember being scorned by some kids. I was a kid, of course, in 5th grade. That says, you don't believe in God? I'm like going, which God? Which one are you talking about? Because I'm like, there's several gods. I knew about the Greek gods, and I knew about the Egyptian gods. I wasn't stupid. I wasn't sure which God she was talking about. And anyway, so one thing that we need to do is we need to pray for the Russians, because people always like, oh, the Russians are bad. No, there may be bad leaders, there may be bad people in the world, but the Russians, like we have bad leaders sometimes, we need to remember that just because we have a bad leader or a bad system doesn't mean that everybody's bad. And now, prefacing that is that no one is righteous, not even one. So I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying that they're not our enemy. The Russians are not our enemy. The Ukrainians are not our enemy. Israelites are not our enemy. The Hamas people are not our enemy. They're all people that just need Jesus. And that's why we have got to realize that, yes, they are some people that are doing some very bad things in this world. We need to call that out. But at the same time, we need to be praying that they will see Jesus and that they will get saved, because that's the ultimate goal is here on earth. We're not here to build a kingdom in the aspect of we need to get the right government in, we need to get the right president in, we need to get... When people say that we're building a kingdom, like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about we're needing to build the kingdom as in a government system? Because even the Jews had a problem with that concept whenever Jesus came the first time. We're not here to do that. That'll be Jesus's job when he comes back to earth. We're here to get people into the kingdom. People often think that when Jesus talked about the kingdom, he was talking about golden palaces and like kind of like Solomon's, grand, castle or whatever. No, we're not here to build that kind of a kingdom. We're here to call people to come in, to repent. In other words, to change their mind, to know and to believe that Jesus is Lord, that he did rise from the dead, and that he is who he says he is. Because a lot of people in this world, they just don't know. And a lot of people are in religions that are very similar to Christianity, and they got all the facts, but they were taught, but you can't be saved by grace through faith alone. They believe that you have to keep it, or you have to maintain it, or you have to earn it. If any of that's true, then Jesus died on a cross for nothing. Jesus died on a cross because we could not keep the Ten Commandments. We could not keep the law. He did it because we could not keep the law. We should strive to try, but if we break the law, we're not going to go to hell. We might get punished, It says, thou shalt not murder. If I murder, I'm going to get punished. And rightfully so. But at the same time, I think we need to be very aware that there are people out there that just need to know Jesus. And if we can't reach them, we need to pray that either someone will, or that they will see dreams and have visions. That has happened, and it will happen, and it will continue to happen until we leave in the rapture. And then in the 7 years, there will be 144,000 Jewish male virgins out there preaching the gospel. So I just wanted you to see that this is what I've been talking about with my Russian nesting doll. And if you don't have Jesus inside of you, like she has 2 other people inside of her, if you don't have Jesus in your heart, it's just a figure of speech. In other words, if you don't believe or you don't know you're going to heaven, first off, you need to realize, do you believe that Jesus is Lord? Do you believe that he died on a cross, was buried in a tomb, and rose again on the 3rd day? If you believe in your heart those things and you confess with your mouth, but even if you never speak the words, like if you believe in your heart and got shot in the head, you never had to say the words, oh no, you go to hell. No, that's not it. The believing in your heart's the part that gets you saved. The confessing your mouth is just something that comes naturally. So if you believe in your heart that Jesus is Lord and that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. It's not through works. You don't get saved and then, oh no, I've sinned since I got saved. Now I'm going to have to make up for that. No, you can't make up for that. If I spill, ink on this, it may not ever come out. I've ruined it. I just got to move on. I can't go back and change the past. You got to move forward. You can't go backwards. So nobody can change their past. We've all done bad things. It's time to stop running and turn to God. When we repent, it's not like we confess, oh, I've been doing this. No. God knows what you did. When we repent, we're saying, I'm turning away from me being God, me being in control, to God, you're in control. It's like saying, I surrender. And I'm going to go find out what these cats are up to. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.